Hi, hello. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Always on, we're doing it live when we do these recordings, because I'm not really good at the whole editing thing. Hi, hello. This is day number 4. This is week number 4, I believe. I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, 4 weeks is substantial, and it takes 20 attempts of something to reach a habit. Like, you need to do it for 20 sessions, like 20 months, 20 years, etc., etc. I think it takes 20 years to become like a professional at something, like a true expert at something. I doubt I'll ever be 20 years of anything, because I have ADHD and my mind is constantly going around. But hello, here's Doggo. Woof woof. Bow wow. Yippee yay. I don't feel like I got as much done as I usually do every week. But I also... That's the dog. I also have quite a bit done. So I'm just going to hop into it because some of it's going to take some time to talk about. First off is these little cards. They're literally... All I did was ink them. Like... Now they're ready to be put into things. So they're just inked. They're tiny little cards. I usually put, like, I'll put this onto something, like onto a page or something. So those were done this week. Start with the card stuff, just because, it's a little bit easier to chat about. I also just inked these this week. This is I got from the Goodwill for $1. It's just World Trivia. I wanted these inked up, so I inked all these this week. Just getting them ready to go. They just go right into pockets. I use the same color ink for everything, so I don't really care too much about having stuff pre-designed. For me, having to take an hour per page just because I have to go ink something for however many long hours just kind of kills it a bit for me. I want to go. I don't like spending as much time, but I also want it to be like really nice looking, so if I don't spend that time, I don't get that nice looking finish I want. And I know you can see these ones over here. Those are talking. Then there's this. This was originally just like a card box. Like, let me show you. Like, this isn't a playing card. This was actually the box that it came in. So, I don't see one of my boxes. You know what? Who freaking cares? That's fine. Whatever. Anyway, so this was the box front, and like there was a lid. I just ripped off everything but the front and the back, inked it a bit, and then I added in this tape that I have right here. This tape. I also got this in a Goodwill. One of those giant grab bags that probably cost too much money. I only get them when they're half off. I think it's really cool. I had to take the bone folder to fold in this part, but I also inked a little bit on the inside because you never know who's gonna look. But it made use of the outside of the card case, which for me that's a huge win. I could stick stuff in there, Then we got these. So these are damaged playing cards, And I was thinking about ripping them, but I don't really like to rip them too much because it doesn't fit my aesthetic too much. So all I did was take a bone folder and folded these, then I inked them, and then I took a crystal sander, and then just took it to scuff everything up. And then I did an ink over, followed by taking most of it off, so it's technically just like a wash like you would do with any type of model kit. And like, look how cool this one came out. Like, some of these are really cool. And I just love getting a thing that looks like this, because it's just... I'm like, no one would bend their cards these ways, but it's cool. I like it. And over time, this ridge part will buffer down just from use of being pulled out and stuff. I was thinking about turning all the backs into writing spaces, but I don't know, not everything needs to be a note card. Some of it just needs to look pretty. Not everything needs to have this intense purpose. So these are actually trash. I got a free Happy Meal. Like, if you get a certain amount of McDonald's points, you get a free Happy Meal, so I got a free Happy Meal. And they're doing this McDonald's, like McDonald's store thing, which I feel is really wrong to do to kids. You shouldn't have kids get a toy that is literally an app to buy products from the store. That's... Oh, that rubs me the wrong way. Anyway, so this was the box that it came in, so it was actually kind of like this originally. I glued it onto a backing brown cardstock piece of paper. Well, that was like a brown cardstock piece of paper, and then cut down some paper, turn it into a cute little notebook, and now I can just put this in a junk journal. Like, look at that. And you can't see it on here, but there's like gold flakes embedded into this white paper, which I also got from a Goodwill bag a while back. And one box gave me 2 little notebooks. Look how cute that is. I really actually kind of... I wish that I had it on both sides, but I really do love this. And the dark spots you see on that, like you can see it a little bit. The splotches here are just ink. It's not actual dirty. There's no oil on it. It's literally, it was just paper. That's all it really is. So I was like, well, let's turn that into something. So today, like this morning, before I started filming, because I was waiting for the sun to be at a decent angle to not make everything look like shit, I was working on these. Look at the little tassel bottom. So this uses up old fabric cutoffs, like, not fabric, but ribbon cutoffs. I'm tempted to burn the ends, but I also like them being frayed. I haven't decided. It's one of those things where, like, I don't want to focus. It's one of those things where you really love the frame, but also, do you want it to look more kept? Do you want it to... How old or damaged do you want it to look? But I just tied a bunch. I tied a bunch to the end there. Let me block everything with my hand. I tied a bunch to the end there, and just threaded it through. This is a paper bead. I don't gloss my paper beads because I feel like it loses the texture of the paper bead that I like. But I made 6 of them. And it's just using up old ribbon. These are all orange because I was going through orange first, because I had that the most of scrapped. I was thinking about making maybe another 30 or 40 of these through the next week. Didn't take too long to make those, so I might do that. It's a good downtime style craft. The dog wants to enter the screen again. I'm trying to go through all the little stuff first, because it's just easier that way. I started ripping up paper again. This is just ads. It's gonna eventually be turned into paper mache. I have a couple pumpkins I want to start designing, and I was thinking about cutting in a S-shape line into one of the pumpkins, because if you do that, then you could turn it into a yarn bowl. So I was thinking of doing like a paper mache yarn bowl. Next to talk about, I guess, are these in the corner, although I will be leaving these over here. I usually move stuff out of the way as I talk about them. So these are water marbled. Well, they're not water, they are water marble, but they're using I was trying nail polish with these because I get kind of tired of just the solid you can see the solid color on this. I don't like these buttons when they're like this, but when they're like this, I could put this on so many different projects, you know? And there's just a handful of them. I really liked this one. It seems kind of simple, but like, I love the bubbly design. I have no idea how this one came out so different than all the others. I feel like it is a black base. I feel like all the colors were just too sheer. but I don't mind it. And I did just, you know, like I said, like a handful of buttons. I was just playing around. That's what this whole stand set for is, because I had to put them on these sticks. And you could use styrofoam, but styrofoam isn't usable multiple times. And this is actually leftover dots from diamond paintings, so leftover drills, you know. And I just stick them in there. You could use sand if you want to, but why would you use styrofoam when you can have something that's reusable and doesn't like just create holes? And this is the other jar. And these glass jars are from a dessert thing from Costco. They just give you glass jars when, you know, you eat out of it, and then you have leftover jars. Use them in sauce jars and stuff, or I craft with them. Usually when I craft with them, they stay crafting jars, though. So I guess I'll show these off next. I was working on cluster pieces a bit last week, but these are envelopes. They're faux envelopes, and I really love them. Like, I don't think I should show off every single design, but you get the point. I like putting these at the bottom of a page, or even if you just glue right here, you just turn it into a pocket, and it's really pretty. It just adds stuff. And to see the fake little envelope in there is so cute. And there's so many. Like, this is all scrap paper. All of it is scrap paper. Like, I'll do a project where I need to take a 12x12 down to like an 8x4, and then I have the leftover, you know, 8x4 strip on the other side. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. I know it's like do the 8x4 project twice, but they're different shapes. So many of these, and I was real happy with them. Look how cute. Oh, this one's really cute. Look at that. It's upside down. But look at that. Isn't that adorable? Like, picture that inside like a cute little, you know, and it's just scrap paper. You can even use like book pages for it. Too many book pages. I've been trying to use up my book pages. I use them wherever I can. You know, I did all this. I think I only spent a day on these. And then, also, if you want in the future, I was thinking about doing a craft with me series as well, like not just the weekly grind series, but I could do one a day. Not one a day. Once a week, I could do a craft with me, maybe clusters or something. I haven't decided. But you can tell me if you want that or not. These are just clusters. Like, let me, can I zoom in with this without... Okay, there we go. That's better. So we got clusters here. And you see, they're really cute. I love making clusters. And, like, it's just supposed to add an element to the page where it's different. I usually add a focus point, so like an image, and then I add a text to it. I used to do all of that at once, but then I realized I wasn't able to add the text to every page because it just didn't match. So now I do the text and the image portion after I have the page designed. Because I have a bunch. I have like at least 100 of these done with the text and the image just sitting around. Because I can't put them anywhere. Oh, it feels like such a waste. Anyway, look how cute that one is. And it doesn't take too long to make these. I'm very particular about my color schemes, so I actually take way longer. And I know some people are fine using a stapler, but that texture difference drives me up the wall. Just take a little bit of extra time. And sometimes on the back you'll see lines here. That's me just lining it so I don't waste my glue. Like, I'll put the two pieces up and then I'll line it. Look at these. Like, there's so many here. It's just an endless, you know. This one's very simple. 2-piece. Because it was a larger one. It's just, it's at the clusters. Just endless, endless clusters. Just so many clusters. One of the cool parts about the next thing I'm going to show is the, which I knew was going to take the longest amount of time, is going to be the altered paper clips. That's probably my favorite thing to craft, is the altered paper clips. I don't add text to them for the same reason. Sometimes I will once I get the junk journal running, like I'll say, they'll say like love or desire or whatever, depending on what the book is. Like the last one with the seashore, I would probably have shell or anemone or something like that. Although I guess anemones are more reef related than shore related. You know, let's stay zoomed in because these are kind of small. I want to show the amount here. We'll zoom out once I get them all laid out, but it's just a lot. And then I'll clean up when I'm done. Like I don't think I'm gonna. I'll just chit chat while I show off some for a bit. Maybe we'll talk about something fun. Like not news. Let's avoid news right now. News is intense. The world is a bit chaotic, and I understand we all come from different backgrounds and we all have different needs and desires. That's okay to have, but the moment you start attacking other people for being different or persecuting people for just being different is the moment I start having a problem with you. Like, I get that certain things are wrong to do, and it's really easy to ostracize an entire group of people just because they view things differently than you, but it's just not okay. Alright, let's zoom back out. Alright, so this is all the paper clips. I did not realize I did this many. It looks like way less when it's in the bags. So we got some thumbs ups. Let's zoom back in because we'll just chit chat while we look at this for a few minutes. I don't know how long. We'll just chat. I also had some family drama this week, but it was people are weird sometimes. I feel like a lot of the time you'll say one thing and people just assume that it means something different because they want it to mean something different. And I get, look how cute that is. And I get like, you need, it just doesn't want to focus on that, does it? There we go. And I get like you need that moment of listen to me, look at me, you know. But there's a point where you just gotta stop. So the backs of these are literally just a brown sheet of paper folded over a paper clip, and then I actually use 2 glues when I do this because I don't want to waste. I mentioned this last time. I don't know why I'm talking about it again. But I use the Fabrifix in the center and the normal glue on the outside because it's cheaper that way. Also, there's no reason to use a bunch of silicone glue. It's honestly worse for the environment. I would move away from it if I could, but this is a mood lately. It's been hot as crazy. Can't tell I'm in the States, but the hurricane system kind of going down a little bit just before hurricane season is a bit, not the hurricane season going down, the hurricane season, I don't know what I'm saying at all. Okay, so like the fact that we're just like, oh, we don't need to have these services active to let us know when these things are happening is just ridiculous to me. Like, look at him, he's so cute. Like, I get the fact that it's expensive to run a weather service like that, but it's also a necessity. So already had multiple hurricanes touch down without warning. Thankfully, sadly, but also thankfully, only one was near a major city. I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and it's okay to be tired. I put a cinematic here in the corner. Oh, there's another one down there. It's just a little bit harder to see. It doesn't want to focus. It's just hard lately. So we also got this one. Look how cute that is. And like I said, I wouldn't mind doing a few of these on here in the future. I actually think it might be fun. I do stream it sometimes. I need to get back into streaming it. Also, I did change the orientation on the back on purpose. So like this is a top down and this one is a side. And even then I have some that come in from this side and some that come in from this side. Like different sides. Because you want to balance the weight of the junk journal as much as you can. Otherwise, it's going to be top heavy or bottom heavy. Like, I usually do a lot of the paperclip stuff near the top because the, most of the pockets are near the bottom because naturally you need the most amount of space. Look at this butterfly. And in the future, I was also... Rewind. You need a lot of space in the junk journal for, like, inserts and stuff. Also, in the future... I'm thinking about selling like bundles of these, and like this came from a book, the imagery, and it's just an upcycled book. This came from stickers I bought a while ago, but I never used them. Same thing with this. Like, I'm just pulling things out of my stash. None of this was bought new. All of this was here previously. All of this was left over from other projects. Like, all of this is scrap paper. Every single one of these squares is scrap paper. None of this I cut fresh to be on these altered paper clips. You have crap everywhere. If it has pigment, you have color. I'm like, look at this one. So this was scrap from a project I did a while ago, where I actually bought a paper pad because I was having a moment where I just wanted to do a project with new stuff and feel special and unique. So I bought a pumpkin paper pad, and I had some stickers left over. And this back piece is from a freaking Wingstop bag. Like, look at that. You have pigment and design everywhere. This house was also from a different project I was working on. It was from the 12 Days of Christmas scraps. I went through a phase where I was buying these cute little toy figurine things, and that's the wrapper packaging from the toy figurine. I bought some stickers. This was left over from when I did a project with them. Like, there's a bunch of stickers left over. You never use all the stickers. This was all these thumbs up you're seeing was from packaging from a toy that I bought. Like, this came from a pack that I bought at Goodwill, the pumpkin. I was trying to show off the pumpkin, but the screen's like, no, show off the whole thing or we'll blur it. Here, this also came from a toy. There's the wrapper, like, you know, the collect however many of. It's really hard to talk about politics or anything without, you know, getting attacked by whatever the opposite side of you is. Even though I'm not really on a side. So anyway, let's talk about next week. Let's zoom out. We're gonna zoom out and talk about next week on the thing. Already 24 minutes in. I'm getting tired. So I have this book. This is the book that I put together a little bit ago. And, like, I actually I put a bunch of these together earlier. And I saved all the scraps that came from it right here. Like, all the cutoffs. Just in case if I wanted to use them in the junk journal. This one's gonna be using the Eyewitness music book. Again, I got a bunch of these. They're slightly damaged. This one looks kind of nice, but it has some tears and stuff on the inside. already. I put that there for myself so I know how to cut the pages down. This is a blank canvas for my, I already pre-inked all of the pages, because that's how we do. Where's the design there? Wasn't there? One sec. Pages don't want to come apart. Yeah, so look at that. That's really pretty. Almost all my paper comes secondhand now. I want to say there are times I buy new paper. There's a point where you just need something nice to work with and something to get excited about. But for the most part, almost all of my paper comes from upcycles. And like, let me show you this stuff right here. This is really pretty. This came from Goodwill, and it's technically wallpaper. But I've already written on this part with a pen before, and it wrote just fine. It's a little curled, but once I put some stuff on it, it'll hold its own, you know what I mean? And like, yeah. So I'll be making a music one next. I know I'm all over the place. But then you got some music paper I'm planning on putting in here. I haven't decided how I'm going to work this out. And then I'm going to go through this book here. I don't know if it has pages torn out of it yet. It does not. But I'll be using this and some of its pages in the junk journal. And this is part of my going through the eyewitness books. And I really love... Oh, the fabric. This fabric on top of it is freaking beautiful. That's why I needed to make something with it. Because I was like, I can't just let this rot in the Goodwill. It was, I think $4 for probably a little over a yard worth. It might have been more than that. It might have been 2 yards. I'm not sure. And I would do Goodwill hauls, but I actually don't buy a lot from Goodwill. I usually buy, I usually keep my budget to about $15 if I go to the Goodwill. I rarely ever go over. Just because I'm so picky nowadays. I'm so freaking picky when I buy. I just have so much stuff. Like, I'm looking at my drawer right now, and I'm like, I have enough stuff here to make at least 30 or 40 junk journals. I have enough stuff to have my friends with me make 30 to 40 junk journals. We would need to buy boxes to make the outside of the junk journal, like the cover. But even this cover was, if you look at this, the cover is actually kind of thick. This cover was made just from some cardboard I had stashed away. You know, like when you get packages and stuff. And then when we go to Costco sometimes, I can ask for them to put everything in a box. And then I get the box, I take it home, I cut it down, I get more covers. It's one of the easiest, most fun ways to get into. I get a little irritated when I see everyone buying these packs online that's like, make your junk journal now. And it's like, junk journal is supposed to be junk. It's supposed to be crap. It's supposed to be the imagination of creating. I do find sticker journals kind of fun though. Look how cute that is. My dream one day is to have a little shop of my own. Where there'll be a bin of these, or I might actually have them attached to pages in the future. I should be able to do that, because I'll just... Let me grab this. This is notes from a game I'm playing right now. I'll just have it like this on a page. Oop. You know, something like that. And then they can flip through them, and then they can pick them out, and maybe like... I'll have a minimum price if you have to buy a minimum of $5 worth of stuff, but these will probably be like 10 cents a pop. Which sounds really cheap, but I bought a 300 pack of... What is it called? Paper clips. The word is paper clips. I bought a 300 pack of paper clips for $4. Then I spent at most $10 on glue. So that's $14 to make quite literally hundreds of altered paper clips. And 10 cents a piece on that. 10 cents on 100 of them ends up being $10. So if I have $400, no, I have 400 paper clips, that's $40. And I get like there's a time factor to it too, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be a quarter. I'm so bad at budgeting those things. I have no idea. And I was supposed to do digital this week, but I didn't forget. I kept putting it off. I have to be in the mood to do digital, and there was a bunch of drama with friends, there's a bunch of drama with family, and it just sometimes you just gotta breathe and do what you're doing now. So I'll be working on a junk journal this next week. I'll be working on these tassels again. These things. I think they're really pretty. Look at that. That's really pretty. These go on. These actually attach. Woo! Losing everything. So these actually attach right here on the spine. And you usually have to put like upwards to 5 or 10 of these on here to make it look really good. So I need a lot of these, but I have I just keep pulling stuff out. I do have this right here. Let me show you. Keep saying words to delay. I have this, which is just an entire pack of these. It was like 20 bucks. And it's literally hundreds of those little things. So, which I might sell in the future. I might not. I don't know. I don't care. I'm so chill. I'm so chill. Anyway, this has gone on long enough. Paper, if you want to see more of these, let me know. I'll do a slideshow. I'm fine with that. I don't freaking care. Look at the pencil. The pencil's awesome. Have a great day. Have an awesome day. The dog. Where did dog go? Mascot, I guess. Woof woof. Oh, I'm losing my mind.